Morning, guys. Erin Wester here. So I know I've been going live either at 6:30 in the morning or 9:30 at night, but it's really the time that I have to myself that I'm downstairs in my workout room, office, whatever you want to call it, basement. The time that I have to talk to you guys and the time that I have that's uninterrupted. So, I've been on this doubles journey. Last night I couldn't do my doubles because my son has baseball from 7:30 to 9:30 at night. Who has a 10-year-old baseball game at 7:30 p.m.? I don't know, but then we got home, have to get Alex down for bed and, try to do a little bit of work, and by then it's after 11 and time to go to bed because 5:30 comes awfully early to get up to get in my country heat, but I did it. Usually the next day after taking a semi break, I have a hard time getting back in it. But today, I don't know, it was pretty easy. But, I've been killing it in my workouts, so it makes it a lot easier to kill it with my nutrition. So I wanted to talk today about nutrition and just remind everybody, your fitness transformation is 80% nutrition. I used to think I could eat whatever I want. If I work out, I'm going to lose weight, but not the case because what we're putting in our bodies has a huge effect on our weight loss. And I know in the past year or two, I've developed tons of food sensitivities, and I know it's from all the processed foods that I've eaten, all the food with hormones. We really try to eat clean. I stick to the outside aisles of the store. I buy grass-fed organic meats as often as I can. It's a little more expensive, so I do it literally as much as I can. I budget, I try to get everything else I need and then see what I have budget-wise for meat for the rest of the week. I go to the store with a list. I know what kind of foods we need to eat. I really need to get better at meal planning. That's something I struggle with, but it's something I'm working on. So, I've really been focusing on nutrition probably since the beginning of May. I did Chalene's diet beta test, and, I'm passing all that information on to my 30-day keto group, which I'm going to do another one in July, but it's been great. Everybody's been participating, everybody's asking questions, everybody's learning, everybody's growing. We're learning how to make this a lifestyle, not a diet. Really figuring out the best way for people to eat for their own body type and for their own food sensitivities. And that's really what this is about, because yes, portion control is great. Portion Fix is fantastic. The 21-day meal plan is amazing. But there may be a point where it doesn't work, where your body just gets so used to it, it's going to plateau. And that's when you have to mix it up. Nobody can eat the same thing all the time and continue to lose weight because your body is just going to get so used to it. So when I was doing Chalene's diet beta test, it was a 4-week program and I lost 15 pounds and 11 and a half inches, which is fantastic for someone who has been stuck at 220.0 pounds for literally 12 months. I maybe would lose a little bit, like 5 pounds here, 8 pounds here, but like a week or two later, I would gain it all back. So even sticking to the same meal plan, doing the same workouts, I would lose it and gain it, lose it and gain it, lose it and gain it. And I was just stuck at that 220 pounds. So, I've stayed below the 210. I've had a couple slip-ups. It's fine. I've had a couple slip-ups. But the goal is, when I'm done with these 30 days of Country Heat and Sean Week, is to be under 200 pounds. And this morning I was 209.9 pounds. So, I have 9.9 pounds to lose in the next 3 weeks, which I know is completely doable. And then I'm going to do a 3-day refresh and just clear myself out even more, which is going to be great. So, right now I'm in the second level of Chalene's diet beta test. And again, it's a week of learning and learning to make more adjustments, learning more about the micronutrients, because I've got the macros down pat. I eat a modified keto diet with intermittent fasting. So I eat 70% fat, 20% protein, 10% carbs. That's like my goal. But it's been more about 20% protein, 65% fat, and about 15% carbs. And with the workouts, that seems to work well for me because I'm still losing like in the last 24 hours, I lost 2 pounds, because that's showing that I'm learning how to eat for my diet. This week, first week of level 2, we are actually not counting macros, not really counting anything, which is weird for me to not track stuff. But, I've learned so much about what foods work for me and what foods don't, that, even without tracking, I lost 2 pounds in 24 hours, which is insane. I know I'm getting rid of the beer bloat, the gluten, sugar, all that stuff that I ate over the weekend. I'm getting rid of that. So I know that's why I'm losing weight. But it also shows that the choices I'm making without tracking my macros are positive, are non-inflammatory. And that is really the goal. The goal is to not to have to track your macros for your whole entire life. I mean, who wants to have to log everything in MyFitnessPal every single day? That's not reality. The reality is to learn how to eat for our own body, learn what style of eating, what foods help us lose the weight. So, this week is learning. This week we're not tracking anything, again, which is super weird. But I'm not intermittent fasting this week, which is also weird. This morning I'm going to have some bacon and eggs this morning, and have some coffee, and just really figuring out what works for me. And then I know the next 4 weeks, from what I've listened to so far on audio, I've listened to like 1.5 audios so far, is that it's going to be a mostly plant-based diet. And plant-based diets are hard for me. I did the Ultimate Reset, which is a plant-based diet. But what I'm learning is that we're going to only be eating one meat a day, one animal product. So we'll see how that goes for me. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. But, when I learn recipes, it's a lot easier for me to really get there and understand and like certain foods. It really leads me to like things that I didn't think that I liked. So I think it's going to be good. But obviously I'm going to keep teaching about keto and teaching about testing for food sensitivities, all those things. I'm going to continue to do those in my 30-day groups every month, which is 100% free. It doesn't matter if I'm your coach. It doesn't matter if you're a Beachbody coach, whatever. I'll let you in the group and give you the resources. Obviously, I'm not going to be supporting people that already have coaches or are coaches the same way that I do my own customers. But I mean, that's to be understood. But, if you are on the journey, you need to lose weight, nutrition is hard for you, you're a beginner, portion control is clean eating. That's absolutely where you need to be. That's where you need to start. And I continue to teach my customers and clients the same thing. You need to start somewhere. You need to clean your diet up. You need to get rid of the processed foods and really focus on your nutrition. And you can work out all you want, but if you're still going to McDonald's, if you're still having Diet Coke, if you're still having chips, if you're still like having blue box mac and cheese, you're probably not going to get the results that you want. For me, I struggle with emotional eating. This Chalene's nutrition program has changed the way I've looked at food. I know what foods are going to make me feel awful. I know what foods are going to make me gain weight. So it really helps me to not eat those foods because I just know how they make me feel. Same thing, potatoes, corn, those type of things are inflammatory to me. And I didn't even realize that. I was just worried about the dairy, the gluten, the sugar. Not even thinking about those other categories like corn, potatoes, those things that can really affect someone's gut health. Bananas is something that I love, but my body doesn't love them. My body has a hard time digesting them, and they cause me to bloat. And I have a lot of issues with leaky gut, which I'm still trying to heal, because obviously, I have cheats. I have it's life. We're gonna cheat, but we need to mostly put whole foods, unprocessed foods into our body. And just when you eat those foods that are inflammatory to you, just think about how they make you feel. So I guess that's really all I had for today. If you have any other questions about what I've been doing nutrition-wise, you can always send me a message, comment below this video, and I will definitely fill you in on what I'm doing. Talk to me about what you've been doing, what's been working for you, what's not been working. Have you hit a plateau? Maybe I can help. So I hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday. Bye. Talk to you later.